Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Mainly Outspoken. And I know, typically on this channel we do a lot of gaming related content, but some of you may not know this, but I also do a little bit of DJ stuff as well. And in this video, I just wanted to talk about a new piece of equipment that I got and kind of do a little bit of a review on it a little bit, just so I can kind of put it out there to what I think about this piece of gear. So this is the DENON DJ Prime Go. It is an all-in-one controller. It does not require a laptop. So that was the first thing for me. I'm somebody who has been a DJ for over 15 years. Primarily, using computers and controllers, things like that. But I always had to use a computer, like a laptop, or, 15 years ago, I was still, I think, carting around a desktop computer to certain gigs and things like that. But then eventually, of course, moved on to laptops, controllers, things like that. And over the years, it's been a great system for me doing it that way. I definitely enjoy the portability of digital music. Started with a few CDs and things like that, but I just didn't want to deal with it, so I just went all digital, and it worked great for me for many years. Throughout COVID, kind of took a break from the whole DJ scene, of course, because there really wasn't a lot of events going on. But, now that that's kind of winding down, events seem to be happening a lot more frequently again, so started getting back into it a little bit, and kind of realized that my equipment was getting a little tired. Definitely needed to upgrade. My computer, my laptop was still running a really old version of Windows. I was using a Newmark NS6 for my controller, which it does still work, but I noticed I was getting some problems with the system. It was just getting worn out, I think. It's done a lot of events for me, and it's worked great, but it was time to move on to something new. So I was kind of stuck with, do I get a new laptop? Do I stick with controllers? So I kind of started doing some research, and I stumbled upon this piece of gear. So again, what this is, if you're not familiar with it, it's an all-in-one controller. So it has the software built into it to play the music. So all you have to do is put your music into it either with an SD card, or you can connect USB thumb drives, or you could potentially use, maybe a hard drive as well. But the other amazing thing that this thing can do is it can connect to streaming services. And, I always would try to have some Wi-Fi capability for events, just to download, the occasional song that I might not have at an event. I'm somebody who downloads all my music ahead of time with MP3s, and I really wasn't a big fan of having to rely on Wi-Fi, just because, of course, if the internet were to go down, or if it's a spotty connection, you wouldn't want your song to skip or stop playing in the middle of it. But this unit at least does have that capability. So I was like, okay, I'll check this out. So it came with a free trial to Tidal, if you're familiar with that music subscription service, Tidal. And so I tried it out. I was typically usually a Spotify kind of person. I liked Spotify a lot, but so I tried out Tidal, and it seems to have a great catalog of, your typical mainstream artists. And as long as you're connected to Wi-Fi with this thing, you can look up songs, artists, hit that download button, and within less than a minute, it has the song into your hardware here. You can hit play, and away you go. So that was amazing to me, to just be able to do that all from the unit itself, not having to be over on my laptop, trying to get on like Amazon to buy a song, or iTunes or whatever. Amazing. Because usually you'd have to pay, 99 cents or whatever it is, $1.29, whatever, for a song, which is cool because then you have it in your library forever. But with this unit, and I mean, where do you go now where you don't have some kind of a Wi-Fi signal, even if it's using your phone to do a hotspot or something? With this unit now, you can just get the song, like I said, within seconds. I did this event at a bar, and this is a picture from the bar. This is my system all set up. They didn't have a Wi-Fi signal, or at least not one I could connect to, but I was able to use my phone as a hotspot and work great. Now, granted, it was draining the battery on my phone pretty fast, so I'd have to prepare for that next time, bring a charger with me or something. But, you know, as long as I was connected to that Wi-Fi, I was able to download the song, again, within maybe 30 seconds. So as long as you do that ahead of time, you know, before your current song ends or whatever, you can get the next track loaded up, ready to go. I was playing at a bar that had a pretty mixed crowd that night. They had a lot of older people, some younger people, but it was a lot of mixed tastes in music. So I was getting requests for country, rap, dance music. You know, you'd have one guy come up and ask me to play like Johnny Cash, and then the next girl come up wanting to hear Little John. You know, so we were all over the place with music. And, you know, ahead of time, I brought an SD card for this thing. I literally got it on Friday afternoon. This unit had the gig the following night, Saturday night. So I only had about 24 hours to mess around with it and get it ready. So I had an SD card, 128 gigs. Loaded it up with what I assumed would be, you know, the popular tracks that people would want to hear. Of course, there was stuff that I didn't have with me. I didn't have my full library of about a terabyte worth of music that I would normally have. So, you know, the internet capability definitely helped out there. But the music I did have on the SD card, of course, loaded up flawlessly. You can search with this unit. It does bring up like a keyboard on the screen, so you can search for tracks either on your devices that you have connected to it or through the streaming services. And there are others too. There's like Beatport and a couple of others too. So, I mean, overall, as a DJ who, again, usually always works with a laptop and a controller, this unit was wonderful. I did have a few little mistakes that, you know, I accidentally, as you can see, that volume knob, what looks like a volume knob above the slider fader, that's actually an effects knob. And on my last controller, that's exactly where the volume knob was. And so I accidentally had that turned thinking it was volume, and it actually was doing like a sweeper effect. So that was one mistake I had made. And then one other time, I think I had put a track what I thought was in queue, which it was, but the volume fader was still up, so I accidentally started playing a song over the PA speakers. So other than that, a couple of, you know, new user mistakes. Overall, the event went great. A couple things I did notice. So I was using a house PA system for this, so I didn't have to bring speakers or anything. All I had to bring was this unit. And I noticed the microphone, and this, I don't know if this had something to do with because I was tapping into a house system that had its own volume settings and everything, but I barely had to bring my microphone volume up on this thing before it would pick up over the PA system. If I turned it up even a quarter of the way, it was kind of starting to feedback a little bit. And I use a nice Shure 58 microphone, connected with XLR and everything. So, I mean, it shouldn't be the microphone or anything. Just something I noticed. But if I just barely brought that mic level up, I was able to speak loud enough and clear enough that it wasn't an issue at all. Overall, the system sounded great. Yeah, and I was using a house PA system that isn't my choice of speakers or anything like that, but I mean, once I kind of calibrated between the volume on that system and the volume on this console, sounded great. Only had a couple of tracks that kind of sounded maybe slightly distorted. Just all I had to do was bring down the volume level on the master here a little bit. Cleared it right up, sounded good. So Overall, very happy with the unit. If you're a DJ out there who's thinking about, you know, making the leap from relying on laptops and controllers and all that kind of stuff to one of these all-in-one units, I highly recommend it. Again, there's other ones, obviously. This one's just the Prime Go. It's a very small, compact little mixer. It is battery powered too, if that's something you're interested in. Typically, I'm usually somewhere where there's power, so the battery isn't necessarily something I might use, but you never know. So again, if you're looking at these, you know, Denon DJ, like there's the Prime 4 and other ones that have these all-in-one, no laptop needed. Honestly, if I can get this thing calibrated to how I like it, where I can find all my music really quick and easy, I would probably never go back to using a laptop. I would keep one with me, you know, as a backup. But beyond that, I don't think I would ever go back. This is just so compact and easy to use that it's wonderful. You can just pick it up and go. So again, this is Mainly Outspoken. If you like what you saw today, I do hope you'll like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try to add a little bit more of the DJ related content to the channel in addition to the gaming stuff. So if you liked this, be sure to leave a comment and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.